Guten Tag, Klasse. All right, so thank you to Levi for bringing to my attention that the instructional video that I made before, it was just a webcam video. I did not have the screencast attached to it as well. So we're going to redo it, and I'm going to try to make it short and sweet, but there's a lot of information involved, so please pay attention. Rewind if you need to. If you miss something throughout the project, come back to the video if you need to. So there are two versions of this project, one for 6th and 7th grade, by which it will be new material, maybe a little bit of review for 7th grade, but because of the situation at the in the spring last year, it's probably going to be mostly new. And for 8th grade, it will be review, and there will be extra vocabulary for 8th grade. So I'm going to go into 7th grade, but I will point out differences between the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade as I go along. So this is a partner project, but the first 4 assignments on the activity board are on your own. And the 4 assignments before the project are leading up to the project. So the vocabulary that you'll be using for the project is directly from all 4 of these assignments. The first one is a pair deck. You're going to go into the pair deck. There's going to be a conversation between Lena and Peter. They are just meeting each other, and they're introducing themselves and talking about where they're from, where they live, how they get to school, and that sort of thing. So I would like you to go through, click on the screen, on the little video screen there, so that you can listen as well as read the German. We're hitting 2 modes of communication here, reading and listening, which is very important. So make sure you listen as well as read what's going on. Do your best to understand what you can from context. The context is Lena and Peter are first meeting, and cognates, or words that look similar in other languages and are in fact the same, and also from words that you may already know. So go through that. When you get to the end, toward the end, you'll come to a short assessment, 1 page for 6th, 7th grade, and 2 pages for 8th grade. That will be matching. And then you'll come to the vocabulary list at the very end. And the reason I put the vocab list at the end and not the beginning is because I would like you to see what you can understand from the conversation before you look at the vocab list and compare that. When you get to the vocabulary list, click on the words, listen to them, say them to yourself, practice your pronunciation. When I was in high school and college, I would talk to myself all the time in German and repeat words and sentences to practice my pronunciation. So do that, please. And when you're finished, go back to the beginning of the pair deck and go through the conversation, and then see what you can understand after looking at the vocabulary. This is the vocabulary that you will be using for your project. I will not accept Google Translate. 99 times out of 100, if not more, I can tell when Google Translate is used, because there will be other vocabulary words that we didn't learn. And when I see vocabulary words that we didn't learn, I know you used Google Translate and you did not use the vocabulary lists and the materials that we went over for the vocab. Also, for some reason with Pear Deck, when another student clicks on the link, it'll go to the slide that it was left at the last time. So please, if you think about it, be courteous and go back to the first slide so that the next person that opens it up will be at the beginning and not somewhere in the middle or at the end. After you're done the Pear Deck, there's 3 activities for practice for your vocabulary: a Quizlet, a Play-Posit for pronunciation practice, and Gimkit. Just for the Play-Posit, I want to make sure that you know how to record your voiceover. You're going to listen to me say the questions, and you're going to repeat them in your head, practice the pronunciation. You can practice out loud. And then when you get to the question, anything other than text, you're going to have to click Use Rich Text In this case, we're inserting a voice over. So click on the microphone, allow it if it asks, click record, record your best pronunciation, stop. Make sure you listen to it. Sometimes it doesn't record for some reason, and I get submissions that have nothing on them. So make sure you listen to it and you're happy with your recording, and then click upload and then submit, and then go through the rest of that. Play, pause it. And then you'll have a GIM kit to practice the vocabulary. And then we get to the project. This is a partner project. So I've already paired you up. First things first, you're going to need Screencastify. If you do not have that, please click on Screencastify. It'll take you to the Chrome store. Add Screencastify to Chrome. Allow everything it asks, and make sure you sign in with your BIST school's email when prompted. The Chrome extension will look like this. So when you have it, you should see that in your taskbar. All right, here's the partners we have for you. I have made for you. And when you click on this, you're going to find a graphic organizer. And on the graphic organizer, you're going to put all of the text, your questions and answers. The questions are here for you. For 6th and 7th grade, wie heißt du? Or what's your name? Wie alt bist du? Or how old are you? Woher kommst du? Or where are you from? Wo wohnst du? Or where do you live? And wie kommst du zur Schule? Or how do you get to school? In addition to those questions for 8th grade, you'll have was lernst du gern? Or what do you like to learn? And was machst du gern? Or what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? All the answers to these questions are in the pair deck that you'll have already went through. That's the vocabulary that you're going to use for this project. The graphic organizer is for you to type or put your questions and answers before you start the project so that that's all ready to go. And I will be looking at these documents and giving you feedback on your punctuation, spelling, and grammar to make sure everything's absolutely correct. And that way, when you get to your project, you'll just have to copy and paste your questions and answers. Fragen und Antworten sind questions and answers. So here, for example, you would put wie heißt du? And then whoever you're working with would put ich heiße Peter, ich heiße Lena, or whatever your name is. And then so on and so forth. Finish that up. Let me know when you're done, and I will check that for you and provide feedback. And when you're finished that, one of you will open up the Google Slide presentation. You're not going to see this link for you. There's going to be two options up here. The one on the right is going to say My Document, I believe. Click on that, and that will open up the document. Only one of you. And then after you open the document, you're going to share that with your partner, and that way you'll be working on the same document. If you both open up the document, it'll generate two separate Google Slide presentations, and you won't be working together. So the one student, you will click File Share, or you can come over here and click Share. And it's very easy to find people in Northeast Middle School. Just type in their name. So, for example, Levi Carolyn comes up, Levi Seabrook comes right up. Anybody that you need to find, just type in their first name and you will find them. And then you'll click send, and then your partner will be able to go to their Gmail and open up the presentation. You'll work on it at the same time. You can also open a new tab, go to your waffle, click on slides, and you'll be able to find the presentation there also after it's shared with you. So you're going to be creating 5 scenes minimum if you're in 6th, 7th grade, and 8 scenes minimum if you're in 8th grade. By scenes, I mean, similar to the Bitmoji classroom I made, you're going to go through here and look for a background, and then there are a ton of different images that you can copy and paste into your scene. Part of the rubric is creativity and originality, so your grade is dependent on 4 parts in the rubric. That's going to be creativity, originality, precision, which is your spelling, grammar, punctuation, everything's correct. Completeness, did I finish every scene? Did we do it right? And audience etiquette. Stay tuned for how we're going to be sharing our projects with our classmates, and that'll be part of the rubric as well. So for creativity, originality, make sure that you're decorating your scene, have fun with it, make it look good, make it interesting, make us want to come back for more. I've already created one here, but I'll go through the process quickly to show you how. Now there are stock images here. I do not mind at all if you find your own images from Google and insert them into your scenes. However, we're not going to have a workshop as to how that's done. So if you're tech savvy, by all means, go ahead and do that. Make sure that your characters and your items are transparent, meaning no background, so there's not a rectangular white background on all your items in your scene because it just won't look as good. I'm going to choose this scene because I have not used this one yet in a demonstration. So you can right click and click copy, or you can click control copy, come up to the top, control V, or right click and paste it, and make sure that your scenes are in order starting at the top. And instead of going down to the other characters, I'm going to copy and paste my avatar. You may make an avatar. Again, you can ask me how, and I'll do my best to answer the question. But that's not something I'm going to go into extensively as to how to do all this techie stuff. All the images are there for you. Please use them. And then if you want to do extra, that's great. That'll add to your creativity, originality, part of the rubric, by all means. So I have my avatar. Then I want to add my text. Now you would be adding other items to this scene to decorate it. I'm not going to do that in the interest of time. But I'm going to go up here, click Insert, and then Shape, and Call Out. And that's where I find my text bubbles. So I'll put a text bubble here. Now I'm going to show you how to rotate this, and you can rotate characters also. So I don't want my text bubble here because my partner's going to be starting their scene, and then if their text bubble's here, it's just going to get in the way. So I want it over here, but I still want that bottom part to be close to the mouth, so I'm going to rotate that. And to do that, you can click or right click and then go to rotate, flip horizontally. And then there we have it. And I'm going to center my text. Wie heißt du is the first question. If you want to get the S set on your Chromebooks, you can switch to touchscreen keyboard and hold the S, and it'll give you the option to insert that S set. There are other ways as well. Wie heißt du? And I'm going to change the background of the text bubble. Thank you, Emily, for that question. Just to make it look a little nicer. And there we are. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a little better. Oh, you get the idea. We'll make the text a little bit larger. All right, now all we have to do is insert the voiceover, and then we can tag our partner, and it's their turn. So this is where you're going to use Screencastify. Click on that Chrome extension. We're only going to record voice, so it doesn't matter which one of these is selected. You just need to make sure your microphone's selected and click record, and it'll count down unless you change your settings. Make sure you highlight this or you won't be able to click share and start recording. Wie heißt du? And you can click on the extension to stop the recording, and then we're going to trim it so that all you have is the question or answer in there. This is going to open Screencastify. And to trim this video so that we only hear the Wie heißt du, unmute it because it's automatically muted, and listen. And it was way up there, so. Wie heißt du? So we're going to drag the scissors all the way over.
Wie heißt du?
And that's good. And then click Save Trim in the bottom right. And trim again. And we'll have one more step.
Wie heißt du?
Actually, two more steps. We're going to name it so that it's easier to find if we ever need to go back and look for it in our Google Drive. And then download and scroll down to export audio only. Click that. It's going to export right to our drive. We're done for now until the next voiceover. And then to insert, go to Insert and Audio. And it's going to be the first one highlighted already. Click on that, click Select, and there you have it. Drag it over to your person. Listen to make sure it's okay.
Wie heißt du?
Gut.
Wie heißt du?
Und das war's. Jetzt, now, tag, your partner's it. Your partner's going to finish the rest of the scene. I don't mind if you take turns decorating the scenes or if you both decorate one scene together. You can decide how you're going to do that. What I do want is for each of you to work on the text and the voiceovers. I don't want one person to do all the voiceovers or one person, excuse me, to do all the text, because this is a dialogue. It's a speaking and writing activity as well as a reading and listening activity. You're listening to what the questions from your partner, you're listening to their answers, and you're writing your own, and you're speaking, saying your own. All right, so your partner's turn. The person that's going to do the second slide will be the second, excuse me, let me rephrase that. You tag your partner's going to finish the slide, and then your partner's going to start the next slide, and that way it's not the same person asking all of the questions. So the partner will start the next slide, tag, you're going to finish the second slide, and then you'll start the third slide. So whoever starts the first slide would start the third slide and the fifth slide, and if you're in 8th grade, the 7th slide as well. I can't think of anything else right now. Please send me your messages on Schoology or put them in the questions parking lot. And viel Glück und viel Spaß. Auf Wiedersehen.